Right, good morning. This is file 217140, BC Management versus Desmond Harrington and other occupants of 9979 North Long Lake Road. And let's see, Mr. Stewart is here on behalf of the plaintiff.
Morning, Your Honor.
Morning. And let's see, so this is the date for a hearing adjourned from July 19th. Are both sides prepared for a hearing, or is there any resolution in the works here, Mr. Stewart?
Well, Your Honor, I haven't had any discussions with the Harringtons, but I would note that at the initial hearing, they did acknowledge that there was a written lease, that the term had expired, that they were notified that it was not going to be renewed. So I don't know that there's, any really factual dispute. Certainly we understand, I think from the last time that they were trying to find a place, the lease did expire back in April 30th. So, they've kind of known that it wasn't going to be renewed since then. With all that being said, we'd be willing to give them some additional extra time, to move out if that would be acceptable. But other than that, I think the facts, speak for themselves that my client's entitled to possession. And again, we're not looking for a money judgment. We're just looking for possession, Your Honor.
And Your Honor, my name's Mark Harrington. I'm one of the co-defendants. We have no problem at all. Our whole thing is trying to find a place. We've been looking far and wide from Cadillac up through Sheboygan. There's a couple places on the back burner. They're saying maybe. I'm a retired veteran, so I receive veteran funds, and I'm trying also to work with the VA on a home loan to try to get me into something to get this solved. I've also got, on top of everything else, a terminal cancer diagnosis, which has given me about 3 months to live. So we're trying to deal with all this. The thing is, if Mr. Campbell and company would be prepared to let us stay here just until we could find a place, be it another month, another 2 months, we would gladly pay what we owe up to date on the rent and keep current on the rent until such time as we did find a place. And there could be a stop date, any stop date that he would be comfortable with. Let's say he says, oh, I'm going to give you another 30 days, we'd be comfortable with that. If he says, I can give you another 30 days, maybe up to 90 days, we'd be comfortable with that. Our whole thing is, it's not trying to not move out or to stay where we can't afford or anything like that. It's just trying to find a place and actually get moved. And between my chemotherapy treatments and the other stuff that's going on with hospice, and Desmond's been having to really work his work schedule around a little bit to try to care for me, help me out physically around the house, feeding myself and things like that. So again, if they would be open to working something out where we would gladly pay by the month, we'd be open for anything.
Right, well,
that for us been more than workable with us. We understand he's got a business to run, and he's got his needs he needs, and we understand that. And there's no ill will either way this goes. So.
All right, well, it doesn't sound like there's any real issue then here as far as a hearing goes. But now that you've heard all that, Mr. Stewart, and let's see, who do you have with you today?
Yeah, Your Honor, this is Brett Campbell, the principal, the owner of BC Management that's present with me.
Okay, good morning, Mr. Campbell.
Good morning, Judge.
And, certainly we appreciate and understand the circumstances that they're in. I don't think we can give them an additional 30 days, but certainly an additional 2 weeks, to try to find that place and move out before any order of eviction would be entered. And again, it's been a few months now, and I think they acknowledged that the lease wasn't going to be renewed. So we're not just, putting this on them now as far as, trying to find a new place, but certainly we'd be willing to give them an additional 14 days, Your Honor, before any, order of eviction would be entered.
Okay, well, it's not my place to be involved in negotiations and, other than having the parties express their interest to each side. Certainly a bad situation here for the Harringtons, but is that agreeable to you, Mr. Harrington? It sounds like the best that Mr. Stewart and BC Management are able to do is the 2 weeks. Are you agreeable to that?
Yes, Your Honor, we would be agreeable to that.
Okay. It may be also that with an order in place, the VA or some other agency may be more inclined to assist in making sure that you get a suitable place to live. So anyway, so if you want to prepare an order to that effect, Mr. Stewart, it would provide an additional 14 days prior to eviction. And are you agreeable to that as well, Mr. Harrington?
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
Right. I do need to advise you that there's a 3-day right of rescission. And that means if for some reason you talk to an attorney or whatever and decide this is not in your best interest, or maybe you've got some defense or whatever, you need to contact the court, and you need to do that in the next 3 days. So it's Monday, so that would have to be done Thursday. Okay. All right, so is there anything else then, Mr. Stewart?
I don't think so, Your Honor. I will submit the order to the court as for our discussions today. I thank the Harringtons for their cooperation, and best of luck. Hopefully you can find a place soon.
And thank you, Mr. Stewart, and thank you, Mr. Campbell.
Thank
We
you.
do appreciate
Thank
it.
you, Your Honor.
All right, and I'll say the same to the Harringtons. Good luck to you, and I wish you best of luck anyway there. Hard situation. All right, feel free to sign off at this time. Thank you, Mr. Campbell, for being here as well.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, we'll be in recess until 10:30.